and the Access Sacramento Media Lab. For more information, call area code 916-456-8600. Internet radio from Access Sacramento, making a difference one voice at a time.
It began in 1986. In 1988, Access Sacramento brought you round-the-clock community radio. In 1997, Sacramento's voice is heard worldwide on the Internet. In May of 1998, Access Sacramento expands the community voice again. Stay tuned as we usher in a new era in Sacramento radio. Access Sacramento and The Voice, Sacramento's community cable radio, internet, and something more. Sacramento's community radio, The Voice.
Hey, we're back, and Nancy, I think we caught you in the middle of a sentence, so please feel free to finish what you were saying.
Well, I think Jackie and I would like to talk about the idea of maybe you don't have that idea right now that you want to work on, but you really do want to get involved in a meaningful community project or in doing something really that means something to you, that does something for the community, and that has some kind of impact. And actually, it was that notion that got us thinking about building some bridges among people, and as looking at team volunteering as a way of building connections in community and really doing some good in the community. We realized a lot of people were perhaps a little leery of putting their toe into this whole volunteer effort, weren't quite sure where to start, and we formed a project last year called People Helping People Care. We care about our community, and this is aimed at very busy working people. We develop projects with organizations throughout the community, neighborhood organizations, nonprofit groups, some public sector organizations, a variety of associations, projects dealing with the environment, with healthcare, with children, with seniors. They're hands-on projects for evenings and weekends. They involve people in some meaningful work, and I can go. Well, some of the project, and I might mention what we do is try to put together teams of people can volunteer to get an idea of what really is available in the community, what would start me really becoming committed and involved, and this gives them a chance to select from a variety of programs. For instance, one of the things that we have on a Saturday morning is we help Weave sort out clothes for their clothes closet. Weave has a new boutique clothes closet for women, actually for anyone who'd like to go in and have those really lovely, very professional secondhand clothes. They're it's a very nice clothes closet. But what they do for women who are moving from welfare to work or who are leaving an abusive environment and looking for work, they provide for a very modest fee, something like $5. Women can get an interview, a professional interview outfit, a suit, and all of the accessories. If they do obtain the job, then they can come back and get a whole week's worth of work clothes. Wow. It's really a wonderful, wonderful project. And our job is, because there's so many people contributing clothing to this project, they don't have enough volunteers to really keep the stock. We go in and volunteer and sort the clothing so they can go.
Who's the we?
That's we, our People Helping People Care volunteers. Mm-hmm. These are people, we publish a calendar, we send it out via mail, and it's on our website, our website is www, as I've heard, .communitycouncil.org. So that's communitycouncil.org website. You can get a monthly calendar of from 10 to 15 different projects of, as I said, evenings and weekends that people can become involved in. They can also give us a call, again, at our number 447-7063, extension 328. Another project is called Tutor Time in Oak Park, where children gather on Saturday mornings. They bring a book to read. They bring some maybe math work they need. They really want to talk with someone, have someone help them with their work, read to them, and just someone to talk to. It's a wonderful project. We get from 10 or so volunteers each Saturday, and they're always a slew of kids to work with. We also have a project, just to give you an idea of the variety, working with St. John's Shelter, where teams of volunteers read to children in the evening at St. John's Shelter. This is Sacramento's only shelter for women and children. This allows the moms to have a little free time for workshops, parenting classes, and others, and it gives the children some real one-on-one time. But the idea of this whole project is people get hands-on, high-impact projects. They get a chance to see what organizations are doing in the community, to see the needs in the community, and then can make their decisions about what they really want to get more intensely involved with.
So if a person's in a bridge group or something like that, and they want maybe their group to be a team, they could be a team and go to get a job through the organization. So that would be great. So if you're in any kind of a group, I know some of you have some friends who play some kind of a game with cards. What's it called? Punkaroo or Bunko? And maybe some of the bunco groups could get themselves doing it and finding things that they can do as a team together other than just playing bunco. But I hear it's fun. I've never done it. If anybody ever wants to invite me to a bunco game, let me know. So, Jackie, you have something that you'd like to fill in at this time?
It's just that I'm not sure people realize the hundreds of nonprofit agencies that are doing things in this community. And when you call them agencies, there are some where the entire staff is made up of a couple of people who are volunteering, and yet it operates and it works and they're collecting money and doing service for a particular cause. Or it could be an organization with a large staff and a professional staff. But what's not out there is the money to advertise for all the volunteers that are needed. And if you want to know what's needed and you want something close to home, pick up your telephone book and call any of these nonprofits and ask them what kind of help they need. And the other thing is we talk about trying to make opportunities for people who work. But there's a whole slew of moms out there whose kids are in school now. They don't have to be home with them in the morning, but they don't want to take a job because they want to be there when they get home in the afternoon. There's all kinds of things that can be done between 9 and 2. Just call an agency that needs some help.
Yeah, it's a really good opportunity. I remember when I was home and doing some volunteer work, and before I got into the volunteer work, I got just so sick of how I talked. I mean, I sounded like a first grade teacher. And, or even, three-word sentences or something like that. So getting out with other people, and it could be a lot of fun, and meet wonderful people, too.
But as we talk about it, we keep talking about doing it for the need, and I think that's really important. But if there's someone listening who's just plain bored,
that's a need.
Then make yourself the need. Because if you're sitting home bored, give yourself a reason to get up and do something tomorrow. Take care of 2 needs. You're going to find people out there. You're going to take care of your own life and do something that the community needs at the same time.
I really, my history and my professional history really started with volunteerism. And I was a young mother with looking for something to get involved in, and that a little bit beyond myself, and I had a baby in tow, but I knew there were some other things that I could do too, and I got involved in both the League of Women Voters and in educational related issues with a local school, and it really made a big difference for me. I learned a great deal. It gave me more confidence, and actually, the job I have now as director of the Planning Council, I started out as a volunteer with the Community Services Planning Council in their education, one of their education committees. It led to a job, and it led to other things, and it led to finally becoming the director of the agency. But we see more and more now where businesses are looking for community involvement as well as professional involvement in their resumes. Also, colleges are looking at this. Some of the requirements are community service for further education. But it also is a very personally rewarding. There's a lot to learn. There are a lot of skills that are learned, and I have applied those skills that I learned as a volunteer and in community work throughout my life.
Let me pick up on that because, and we're not the only ones like that, but when you talk about volunteering and it becoming a career, the first training I ever did was as a volunteer. I was trained to be a trainer for a volunteer organization and then started doing that training for corporations who then wanted to know if I would do it for money. I mean, I know other people who tested skills in the volunteer world and it became jobs they enjoy doing today. That means you can volunteer at some of the time and get paid some of the time, but mostly developing skills you didn't think of.
Yeah, it reminds, these things are all kind of bringing back my memory from my young adulthood. And what I was thinking about was I went to a co-op. My children were in a co-op nursery, and I took them to this nursery, and they had a meeting with Jeanette Rainwater, who was a trainer, and she was doing a training session for 100 women sitting around round tables and having us have discussion groups in this big meeting. And I'd never seen meetings handled that way, where people were doing planning in a circle of women. And I thought, that's what I want to do. I don't want to go back to being an elementary school teacher. I want to work with adults and do this kind of thing. And it was through my children's co-op, where I had to work there at least once a week, that I got introduced to this very exciting field that I've been in, both counseling and training. And thanks, kids. I forgot to thank you for that.
But it's what I mean. Volunteering can do all kinds of things for you, not just the task you're doing.
Great. So we have a few more minutes, and if anybody, Nancy?
I think one of our real challenges in the community is to rebuild that sense of community, especially as we've grown so in our region. We're just growing so rapidly, but finding ways that people can reconnect with each other. The John Naisbitt's book, The Future Shock, I always use the theme of I loved one of his chapters, was called High Tech, High Touch. And as we move so much into the technical world and we realize we're moving at rapid pace, faster than we ever have, there's really a need for people to touch, to really get in touch, both spiritually and emotionally and really on intellectually with others. And this offers that opportunity. We all can do it, but volunteering offers that chance for community building.
And again, I want to make sure I give thanks to the volunteers, including myself. I want to thank the volunteers on our engineering. We have Steve Baylog, who is our new engineer, and he studied here with Shane Carpenter, learning how to be an engineer. And my nephew, Michael Geller, who's an attorney here in Sacramento, and he's taken the training here at Access Sacramento to be an engineer for this show, rushing from their work, hungry, and all those kinds of things, and having to give me orders and tell me what to do and keep me on track. And Diane Matar one more time. So I think I see some fingers up telling me what to do. I've been given the finger, and it must be time to go.
This is The Voice.
Hello, Dave Carr for Radio DX to tell you about this show, which airs live Mondays 6 to 8 in the evenings and a replay Tuesday mornings from 6 to 8 a.m. here on KYDS 91.5 and Cable FM 88.7, the voice of Sacramento. So join me for music and Lord knows what else. And check out the website, www.w3dj.com/radiodx. Check it out, would you?
Listen to America Today on The Voice every Wednesday evenings from 8 to
For now, we'll see you and maybe hear from you next week.